And we're back.
Yo, we're
Happy
here.
Friday, everybody. You too.
What's up? Good times. Welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Your favorite
Us lying
Everything's a
all week.
Lie podcast.
We're so on sync, dude. It's crazy.
And Tim, I really did go for a bike ride. I really did go around a corner.
Yes.
There was someone jogging,
That was what happened.
like kind of far down the trail.
That's what happened when you came.
That's all it was.
That's pretty crazy,
all
to be
it was.
honest. Yeah, that's some wild stuff. Guys, hey, I'm your host, Timon, and
I'm your host Lincoln.
we're here for another awesome special content today of daily content, Friday content.
Special Friday content.
Yeah, it's just normal Friday content.
Can I say a sentence to feel how it sounds when it exits my mouth? Is that okay?
Say it.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Tim and Lincoln podcast, your favorite source for daily content.
Ooh, that's pretty smooth.
I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I just wanted to see how the
Lincoln podcast. So the one thing I have against that is I think it should be the Lincoln Timon podcast.
No.
The reason why is it's alphabetical.
I don't care.
Yeah. I am
I
kind
think
of OCD about that a little bit.
I think it should be
up to the listeners.
the Tim and Lincoln show.
The Timon and Lincoln show.
Your favorite source for daily
content.
content. Because then we still use the phrase daily content as much as we want for whatever.
Right.
You can call it daily content for short.
Right.
But all the branding is the Tim and Lincoln show.
Here's an inside scoop, listeners. So Lincoln and I have been talking outside the podcast. That does happen sometimes. Not always. Most of the time,
Tim and
all of
I
our
talk
conversations.
for 22, 23 minutes,
Per
5
day.
times a week. That's all.
It's called almost two hours of conversation. That's all you really need to have a very healthy friendship and functioning roommate living situation. 2 hours tops of conversation. So we were talking about branding, and one of the things that we're chatting about is, Joe, you're just gonna come over here right in the middle of when I'm talking?
Oh, he's just gonna bump into stuff.
Oh my gosh, get out of here!
He
Get outta
could just
Sit right there.
Joe.
I'm so sorry, listeners. This is not the content he just bumping into. Joe,
come on.
you listening? Okay.
He'll be just not in the shot.
Snooze right there. So it's difficult to find daily content when you search it on Spotify and Apple. And so we were talking about rebranding. So that's why we're chit-chatting about that.
I also meant to start my phone to record video for this episode as well to see if iPhone footage looks as good as GoPro footage or
Next
better.
week.
I wonder about doing that. Just side by side because I'm curious.
Yo, our first episode will be on a Friday, our like 1 year anniversary.
Oh, will it?
Well,
Next,
we'll
a week
record
from
it.
today.
We'll record it on a. So this is the 12th. The episode's going on the 12th.
Yes.
And so 7 days from the 12th is what, the 19th?
That's our number. Yeah.
So wait, we start on the 17th. So never mind. Math, man. Math, bro.
I was thinking about that today. I thought, man, we're really like St. Patrick's Day was like
Which is,
the first daily content.
Which is Wednesday.
So,
Good
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to do probably nothing for that.
We're looking at
Because
you.
we have procrastinated on every single idea that we have talked about. But it's okay. It's our podcast, and we can do whatever we want.
Remember that one time we were going to... no one sent us addresses, except for Alea, which she did text me.
Yeah, we could just... Well, Alex sent me his, although I already knew where he lives.
Oh, nice. And we know where Ben lives.
Yes.
And we'll just send something into Grand Rapids, and hopefully Jay and James
Throw
can get
it.
Yeah.
Throw
They'll
it.
find it.
Throw it
It'll be
that
like an
way.
Easter,
it that
Easter
way.
egg. You know what I'm saying? We'll on the podcast say where it's hidden, and then
Yeah.
they can find it.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Speaking of Easter eggs, Easter.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up.
It is coming up, and we've got some questions about Easter.
Okay. I got, can I just say something about Alea?
Yeah, you
Alea said that she heard you say her name. She heard Lincoln say her name underneath his breath. And if a dead animal shows up at her doorstep, it better be a packaged meat form that I can eat, not like a horse's head or something like from the
Why
Godfather.
can't you eat a horse's head?
Packaged,
I don't know.
Packaged meat.
I can't imagine where I would get a horse's head. I don't really.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
really.
I'm sure there's
that. Like, why don't you think you could
Amish.
consume a squirrel?
There's multiple Amish that will help hook you up. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I realized the other day that I am prejudiced.
Just the other day you realized this? or
against one type of people group, and it's the Amish, bro. It's definitely the Amish.
Someone recently asked me if I had noticed or ever interacted with, like, infighting with, or anyone being, like, mean to Amish people, or, like, being prejudiced against Amish people, and I said, just my roommate.
Which he should have said.
No.
The great thing is you can trash the Amish super hard, and they'll never hear about it because they don't have phones or YouTube. So,
well, I wouldn't go so far as to trash the Amish. Why are you prejudiced against Amish?
Just
though?
Stare at me, dude. So, what? What are you staring at? These 2-year-olds are like, why are you yelling at me?
These kids just being kids.
Amish kids being Amish kids, man. There's a difference. Okay, Easter. Go ahead.
Oh, our question from James.
Ooh,
we have
James.
a question from James.
What up, James?
He says, here's a Friday question for you. Everyone either says Easter is early this year or Easter is late this year. Always one or the other. Why is that? And what is the cutoff? So at what date do you say that Easter is not early? It is late. Where is that dividing line? You know?
Yeah. I thought Easter was always on one specific day.
No, it moves around because of like Passover and stuff, right? Well, never mind. You just said you thought Easter was on one specific day. So
yeah, I thought it was on April 20th. It's always been on April 20th.
So Easter this year is on the 4th. Oh, it's so my birthday is the 3rd, and all my life I've had to like compete with Easter as far as like parties and gatherings. Sometimes my birthday falls like right on Easter. So
is it kind of like Thanksgiving where it's the 3rd
and I bet
Thursday?
sometimes your birthday almost falls right on Easter too.
I've never had to compete with Easter.
You've never? That's crazy because your birthday is like pretty close. Like it's
a couple days off.
It's
a week.
It's 8 days.
Yeah, off of it. Yeah, whole week. You can party twice in a month.
Yeah,
when they're like 2 weeks separated.
But like it's either like
this weekend or the next weekend.
Well, it's either
I don't know.
Have all your buddies over on Friday for your birthday, or like
go to church.
Good Friday service, which is like typically like a pretty like somber experience if that's what you're into, and often
depends on the church you go to.
Often encouraged to reflect and think about the events that transpired on that date several thousand years ago. Not let's go to this thing and then like eat cake and ice cream at a birthday party. That's not typically the attitude.
It's not. So you know how I said I was prejudiced against Amish? I'm also prejudiced against a religious group.
Amish?
Yes, and Lutherans.
Why are you prejudiced against Lutherans?
Because they care so much about Easter. James is a Lutheran. I'm just giving James a little rough time. James only goes to church on Easter and Christmas. He's a good Lutheran.
He's a good Catholic too. James,
they're the same thing.
The same but different.
Just joking, James.
James, I would say April 1st, I think, is the cutoff. Any Easter before April 1st?
It's too early.
Mm-hmm. Any April after the first week of April, I would say is late. Gotcha. I think if it happens within the first 7 days of
does it
April,
always happen within the first week? I've thought like legitimately.
It moves around like 3 weeks.
Yeah, so it could be the end of April, could be the start of April. I don't, in my history, ever remember an Easter being in March. So I don't know. I don't know why Easter changes. I think it has to do with is it Lent or
like Passover and
Passover, the 50 days of.
So I'm going to read off some dates
days
of historically when Easters have happened.
Thank you. Also, all of the Grace College people who do listen to this podcast, you guys remember when we would talk about Ishtar with Dr. Soto, the white Aryan?
The real reason why you wear a new dress on Easter, because that's what all the prostitutes would do to get laid, to get business on Easter. You wear a new dress, to get business on Easter, to celebrate the holiday of the
when I think about Jesus,
goddess.
the first thing I think about is prostitution.
All right, so just some dates of of Easter's historically 2001, Easter happened on April 15th. 2002, Easter happened on March 31st.
Oh, okay.
And so you get it. 2003, it was April 20th. 2004, it was April 11th. 2008, it was March 23rd.
No way.
So okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna return to my previous. That first week of April is I think par for the course. Mm-hmm. I think if it happens in March, we're gonna call it early. I think if it happens after the second week of April or after the first week of April, we're gonna call it late. So April 1 through 7, nothing. Anytime in March, early. Anytime after April 8th, late.
I'm going to change my answer from April 20th to a different answer. And Jesus lived 33 years, so I believe that, maybe he lived 33 years and then lived again for forever. Died at the age of 33. So what I'm going to say is those 30 days in April. Is April 30 days? Yes. Anytime in April, Easter can happen. And then you got kind of 3 days, whether it's in May 1st or 2nd or March. You got kind of like a 3-day window.
Easter's never happened in May.
Cool. I really don't give a rip about Easter. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I really have not paid attention to Easter.
Sure. Does it go back to your prejudice of the Amish and the fact that they celebrate Ascension Day?
Yeah.
Is that part of it?
Yeah.
It's like if they celebrate it,
I'm not celebrating.
Can't have any part of it.
Yeah. Maybe. That's probably part of it.
James goes on to ask, also, I don't think it was answered. How much donkey is too much donkey?
Oh my gosh, James. 1 donkey is too much donkey. 2 donkeys is just a handful of donkeys.
It's 2 donkeys. I think I would enjoy having a donkey as a pet if I had like space for animals, like some sort of like barnyard situation. Have you ever seen a miniature donkey? I would love to own a miniature donkey.
We have a miniature donkey.
We do.
His name is Joe.
But a biologically original miniature donkey.
James, how much donkey is too much donkey for you? I think great. I'm going to answer your question with a question, just like Jesus would do. How much donkey is too much donkey, James? All right, cool.
Moving right along.
Yeah.
Let's go to let's switch to the other side of the bed. Elisa. Had to think of it. I was gonna say let's cross the street, but I would imagine that they live in the same house, being that they're married.
Yeah.
And I would just venture to imagine that they have a happy marriage and therefore share a bed. They probably don't sleep in separate beds. If you do, that's fine. We'll go across the hallway or downstairs around the corner to the couch. I don't know.
No comment.
Elisa said, recently I was having a long conversation with a coworker on the topic of tattoos being acceptable in the workplace. Interesting. It seems like most companies don't care about people having visible tattoos in the office, which is leading to more people wanting to get them. Do you think tattoos are kind of a fad as the world accepts them and they will die back down once it's not a big deal anymore? So we'll start with that. There, she goes on to ask some follow-up questions regarding the issue. But
that's a really good question.
So are they a fad, and once it reaches full acceptance, people will think about getting them less because they'll be more normal?
I have no clue. What do you think?
I don't know. Do
you think they're a fad? I think it's been something like a constant for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of maybe definitely you're right. The popularity of a tattoo is pretty. I would think on the grand scale of things in our culture for sure it's at its highest it's ever been.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think so. I think more people have tattoos than probably ever before. Yeah. But there's also more people than ever before, and so
yeah. That makes sense.
I don't know if there was a higher percentage of people in the 1700s that have had tattoos versus just people now. Are there more people now who don't have tattoos proportionally than? I don't know. I don't think they're a fad.
There's whole cultures that literally that was to be part of their culture. You have to have tattoos. So their whole culture was tattooed up, where our culture is like a mixture of it. So
melting pot.
A melting pot.
Yeah, I don't think tattoos are a fad. I think tattoos will always exist in society.
Yeah.
Probably.
The acceptance of it has grown, though.
I think
100%.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think there's like a limitation on like what is acceptable in the workplace and what's not?
I think
Face tattoos.
so. Like subject matter.
Or subject matter.
Like if you have like swear words, big the F word tattooed, or like something. Yeah. Some really unclassy.
Some donkeys.
I mean, I don't know. Pinup tattoos have been a thing for a really long time. Like a half or mostly naked woman tattooed on you.
But it wasn't just showing.
But
in the workplace,
that wasn't
right?
on your wrist in the office every.
Wasn't
single
on your
day.
cheekbone.
Yeah, I think face tattoos might, make you a little bit of a hard hire.
It depends. Depends
it
on
really
where you want to go.
Does the person hiring you also have face tattoos? I think is the question you need to be asking at that point.
Yeah, I think it's becoming more and more acceptable. I think certain companies probably still have the right to say yes or no. I don't know if it's like a discrimination thing because it's your choice, and it's like your choice to go to college or your choice to get this certificate and this different thing. It's your choice to put that tattoo on your face. And there are consequences that come with every action, and consequences are good things and bad things. And maybe if you want to be a rapper and you want to be accepted, maybe a face tattoo is what you need. Maybe if you want to be an accountant, a face tattoo is not what you need. You know what I'm saying? So
maybe. She goes on to ask.
Good question, Elisa.
Do you think tattoos will always be something people continue to get as time goes on?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been something that's been around for a long time, and it's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah. Do you think? I think what she's getting at. Do you think tattoos will always be something people continue to get more of? Like the individual, 20 years ago was like the amount of tattoos one for most people, and
will it increase, or are we at the pinnacle?
So
is that the question?
No, I think like the casual tattoo consumer, how many tattoos does that person have?
Less than 7.
You really think that many? You think 7 and less?
Oh, bro.
Of like
3. I said 3.
Do you think the answer is more than 1?
Yes.
I think so too.
I think so.
I think of everyone you ask who has tattoos, you will find that most people have more than 1.
When I was on dating sites back in the day,
Joe heard something. He can come into the shot a little bit here.
14 months ago, I realized that one of the great conversation pieces is to ask females, how many tattoos they have. And through all my scientific research, the majority of the females I matched with, which was very, very few females I matched with, they all had like +4 tattoos. Like majority of them had +4 tattoos. A wrist, one on their thigh, one on their stomach somewhere, a heel, one on the foot, 2 on the side. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people have more than 4 tattoos. I would say your casual tattoo person might. Let's say this: if you have 1 tattoo, I think you are a rarity on your body. If you have no tattoos,
if you have just 1,
if you have just 1, I think that's more rare than someone who doesn't have any tattoos. And I think the majority of people who have tattoos have more, because they always say it's addictive, right? Can't just eat 1, can't just take 1. I think, Elisa, in the future we're gonna see tattoos that aren't permanent, that are permanent for a year or 2.
You really think a year instead of like a couple months? You think that long? Like a 3-year tattoo?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
I think it is interesting.
Yeah. You can kind of change it, modify it.
I don't know if that's gonna I feel like that makes it like way more of a trend. I don't know if that's ever gonna reach the amount of acceptance as like traditional tattooing, because part of the allure of getting a tattoo is that it is on your body forever, unless you take like pretty drastic medical unless you get it lasered off, which is a harder process than getting a tattoo in the first place.
Yeah,
like that's kind of part of why it's so cool, because it's forever. It's like you're and if they mess up, that's also on there for forever.
Yeah.
And so there's a risk there that I think that's part of the enticement the enticing nature of tattoos is the amount of risk and sort of finality,
permanence. Permanent.
There's not a lot of permanence in our life anymore. Like, everything can be undone. People are pretty slow to commit to just about everything.
Send an email and
unsend it. It's everything. It's you can unsend an email. You can rent a house instead of buying a house. You can rent a car or not even own a car. It's everything. We're moving away from like any sort of permanence. It's Netflix and Hulu, and you never own any content as far as movies and TV shows. And, and it's Spotify, and you don't own your music anymore. And so we're stepping away from owning or any ounce of permanence. But tattoos, that's a way you can
anchor yourself in permanent.
You can anchor yourself in something permanently. You can.
Yeah.
You definitely can.
Yeah.
We got more questions. Let's keep rolling through these. Got a comment, an earlier comment from our listener Brian Perry about office decor.
Got
a couple Brian comments here. Cool. Remember we were talking about office decor, and I didn't know what to. He says his office decor was lightsabers, Harry Potter wands, IU gear, and a 1 gallon jug of ground up plastic.
A 1 gallon jug of ground up plastic. That's, so like Bollywood stuff, extruder, plastic type stuff.
I don't know. So his question for Friday.
Pellets that you could get.
Who knows? He worked at a group home like I did, the same one for troubled criminals. So it was probably from a resident ripping something plastic up.
Oh,
That's
really?
probably what it was. A gallon.
Brian, let us know, dude.
Plastic.
Please let us know.
That's probably what it was, and I crushed it. His question for Friday: what was the make of your first car?
Oh,
what kind of car was your first car?
Dodge. Oh, what was it? It was a red Dodge Neon. 2001 Dodge Neon.
Nice.
Red.
Nice. The first car that was my own, I would say, was the hand-me-down Dodge Grand Caravan from my parents.
I remember that.
It was a car. It was like pretty.
It was like the van off of Good Kid, Mad City, the Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, I don't know.
Cover.
It was like a 98 or early 2000s Dodge Grand Caravan, so kind of bubbly looking, kind of terrible to. I mean, like, it was a van. I don't know.
Took it to college.
It was in really good shape. It was like not the worst vehicle I've owned as far as like condition. I've owned way worse vehicles as far as condition.
How crazy is that now that you're like older and you're like looking back at it, you're like, I've owned worse cars. And at the time, it was like the worst car you could have ever owned.
Well, it was just dorky because I was 18, 19, and 20 years old, and I had to drive a minivan places. Like, it wasn't. I didn't think it was all that embarrassing at first, and then it became embarrassing. Like,
what was it? Dude, okay, all right, sorry. 1 second, guys. We were listening to Young Gravy, and they were talking about how many girls you can get in a Tesla.
Yeah, how many girls can you fit in a Tesla?
Right. I think that was the exact quote that they said. No, he also has face tattoos. He's a rapper. I would love to know how many you could get in that caravan.
How many people?
Because in a Tesla, what would we say? Like 16? Was that the number that we came up with?
If it's a Model X.
If it's a Model X and we're jam-packing these females.
Okay, so I can answer this question with 100% a factual statement.
Yes.
Not my minivan, but when I was in youth group, there was another dude who drove a Dodge Grand Caravan.
Okay.
Just like mine, but it was white. His name was Troy. He was a real person. This was a real van. And so in the vein of crazy youth group games, you play games like how many people can we fit in the handicap stall of the men's bathroom upstairs in the church? And one of these was how many people can we fit in Troy's minivan?
Nice. How many was it?
Do you know how many people we could fit in Troy's minivan?
I think it's more than 16.
It was like a lot. I don't remember the number.
Yeah, but they also weren't girls. They were probably girls. They weren't women.
It was high schoolers.
Okay.
So, like, you know.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying.
The average height and weight of what a rapper would consider a female. Ooh, that hits a little too close to home right there, doesn't it?
It was like in the 30s, though.
Wow.
It was a lot. It was a lot of people in Troy's minivan.
Troy's minivan.
Yeah.
Solid. I forget.
Oh, he's got more questions.
He has more. Okay, I have questions too. That
I know.
So many questions.
I know.
He's so good. I love it.
He's got more questions. Oh shoot, let me find him again. He goes on to ask, he's got a couple. I'm just going to rattle them.
Yeah, rattle.
What was your mother's maiden name? What city is your grandfather from? What was the name of your first pet? What was the mascot of your high school? Or last four of your social security number?
Hey, guess what, Brian? I do not use Dodge Neon for a security question at all. So suck it. Yeah. What was the city I grew up in? What was the city my grandfather was from? I don't know a lot of these questions.
Yeah, I don't either. I've got a question from Jay, our listener, Jay. Will daily content...
Wait, can I say something real quick to Brian?
Yeah, you can.
Brian, those questions were way better than Jay's questions ever will be. So even though I wasn't a fan,
got a terrible question from Jay.
Go for it.
Will daily content have any digital content for purchase through NFT tokens?
So, fun fact, I've set up a crypto wallet and NFT. I'm waiting till Ethereum drops because they have a set price. It's called a gas price to purchase an NFT to actually make it all happen. And there will be probably like our first episode, like 10 copies of that sold for people to purchase. But I'm waiting until Ethereum drops for me to open that up because it's a set Ethereum price, and right now it's like $80 because Ethereum's high. When it dips, it'll be like $40 to get started.
Timon, do you want to explain what an NFT token is? Because I don't even I've seen it around, but I could not explain.
I'm fascinated with it. I like it. I think it's going to be another way for us to kind of produce money off of this content. But an NFT, the best way to probably describe it is if they're like skins on video games, and you can purchase those skins. Fortnite does it. A lot of famous video games do that. And so the kind of thought process is like, hey, I have this skin. I play this game a lot. And then when I like kill someone, they can see my skin. And it's just kind of like a bragging rights thing. And so they put a cost to that. And then the other thing is there's only a limited amount of these skins. So people who want those skins will trade for it. It's almost like a trading card. Does that make sense?
It does.
And so an NFT is a non-refundable token. And so non-fungible token. So basically you can say, I am making this and I can authenticate it, and I'm only making a limited number of this. And if you want to purchase it, you can purchase it. If you want to trade it, you can trade it. And so you can do it on digital stuff. So podcasts, artwork.
That's interesting.
Videos.
Because I sent you a link to U2, Kings of Leon, I don't know, some band that's slightly less relevant than they used to be.
Yep.
They're releasing an album via NFT, which is probably how music should be anyways. That way it can't be like copied and stuff. And it's cool that you can like
own
you used to like you'd put your stamp on something and that designated its exclusivity and sort of value. And it's cool that like that 40 years after the digital age has started, like we're just kind of getting to that point.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like, so you may sell that, they're going to still stream that copy, you know, of that album that they put out there. Or maybe it's an album that they had back in the day, right? I don't know what the Kings of Leon album that they're doing.
I think it was going to be a new album.
It's a new album. Okay. Yeah. So the interesting thing is, like, with that, they can still stream it. It doesn't give you rights to anything. It's like kind of a collector's edition. So it doesn't actually do anything. It's just like, hey, I have this, and there's only so many of these out there.
Yeah. But that's like, but now it's like, it's digital content. It's like, you can make something that ordinarily isn't special.
Yeah.
It's like a streamed copy of an album is just the data. It's adding exclusivity and whatever to that.
It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's something.
Yeah, it's something. And the cool thing is you trade via crypto for it. I saw Lindsay Lohan sold an NFT for a certain amount of money. Oh, there's also really interesting ways to get through taxes with it too, which I'll talk to you a little bit later. But yes, look up some of those laws because you can it's interesting. So, but what was the other thing? Who's the guy who started Twitter? Jack Dorsey sold one of his first tweet, sold an NFT and made millions off of it. Maybe not millions. There's stuff that has been sold for like millions. It's stupid. So we're not there yet, but there will be. We will be, and there will be NFTs available for purchase at some point.
Cool.
So good question, Jay.
I think that's just about. I got a question from Alex, but we can hit some of your questions.
Okay, yeah. I have a couple. Aaron. He said on our Bang Energy drink conversation, Timon yelling bangs reminds me of the iconic publicity segments on the Kroll Show. It's like, I got bangs. So I've seen this episode, but it's been so long The Kroll Show. Anyways,
yeah.
He sends it. Thank you, Aaron. There was just something about me just whiling about Bang.
It's pretty good. I haven't had a Bang energy drink in days. since the last time I told the podcast I drank one.
It was like Monday.
Yeah, that was.
So, guys, we're on day 4 of drinking Lincoln not drinking Bang Energy.
Lincoln not drinking Bang.
Drinking not Lincoln Bang Energy. And we're so close to making
not
a week.
Not banging Lincoln Energy. What?
And how many days have you not drank alcohol?
Oh, since 2020.
Wow. So 21 days, 11 days, 12. Aaron goes on to ask, he says, hey, Timmons Podcast, or hey Daily Content. Have you checked out checked out Valheim? I've played one so far, and it's been fun. Yeah, interesting. Aaron, so it's like 1 hour. You just played one game so far. I'd like to know. Aaron, actually, I purchased Valheim. It's a video game, and it's kind of like Minecraft to people who have played Minecraft, but with a little bit of PlayStation 1 graphics. It's cool. I have played a couple hours of it.
It's cool to see Minecraft's graphics evolving after 10 years of being 16-bit.
Yeah, it's a little different. Like, you can't mine down, or maybe you can, but it's kind of like this open world, and you're just Viking, and you're running around and crafting and living in this environment. It's cool. It's a cool game. I have played it, Aaron, and the cool thing is you can have up to 10 other people play in the world that you play with. So, Aaron, maybe we should figure out a way to play.
That could be cool. Remember that one time we all played Minecraft together and then never did it again?
Hey, on the recap, we should talk about that. That was a good time.
That is something to talk about.
Some memories.
That was it happened in the summer. It's right? What's in the summer?
No, dude. It happened when nothing else was going on, November 4th. Like, there's nothing happening. No one was doing anything.
Oh, that's right.
We were just like, hey, this would be a perfect day to hang out and do stuff.
Yeah, there was nothing going on that day.
November 4th. No big deal. Okay. And so I got text too, but do you have other questions?
I do. I'm trying to make sure we don't have more other questions that I miss. Since we have people send them through any means of communicating with us that we have, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to.
Yep.
Yep.
It does.
Sometimes it's difficult to. I can.
Do you want me? I have another one.
Go ahead.
So Alex Adams. Our listener Alex sends me a question. Friday question: what is a number neighbor? What is a number neighbor?
I think we explained that in our number neighbor episode, Alex, if you would listen to that one.
Yeah. Alex, a number neighbor is any number that is either one above or one below your number. And your number can be whatever. For us, we were talking about phone numbers and our phone number neighbors. But you could have like house number neighbors, right? Or you could have
recently met
non-fungible token number neighbors.
Well, I didn't really meet them because they didn't come out of their house, but I recently met our house direction neighbor. The street we live on is South Blank Street.
Check out episode 327.
Something I had purchased got sent to our address, house number, and then blank North Street.
Yep.
And they had contacted me via Facebook.
Yep.
And said, hey, I think I got something for you. Yeah. It was very sketchy.
Did you friend them?
No.
You're not just checking out their life? Like, maybe we live literally the same life. Like, maybe they have a podcast.
I drive past their
they might have
house sometimes.
It could be like two females, dude.
I drive past their house sometimes.
Okay. Do what?
On my way home from work.
Okay, all right. Is that close to the road?
I mean...
you cut through the neighborhoods and stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I come down Middlebury and then just cut straight down.
Goshen talk.
Straight down the street that is our street, but on the north side of the railroad tracks.
Yep.
Instead of the south side of the railroad tracks.
Neither side is good. You may be asking, is north better or south better? Honestly, they're both pretty rough.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Great question.
Both places I would not choose to live if the doors were unlocked all the time.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I got one from Alex.
Okay.
I got a comment from Alex. I'm not sure if I should read. He sent it to me on Monday.
Okay.
Do you think that's too bad to read out loud?
I would change his answer, right? Should we just say it? I mean, this is on Alex. I don't care. I'll read it out, bro.
All right. Just put a butterfly knife in the hands of a Mexican child and watch them go to work. It's genetic.
That's what Alex says. I would honestly do.
Were we talking about knives, pocket knives at some point?
Probably Mexicans.
He sent this to me out of the blue on Monday at almost noon.
Nice. I would say honestly, you can see that with a lot of different things. Put nunchucks in Asian kids' hands.
Gosh. I thought you were gonna say chopsticks.
Put money in the Jews' hands.
In Asian kids' hands.
There's so many jokes. Chopsticks. Yeah, chopsticks. Oh, so even butterfly knife. They might be able to.
So his question Friday question for Timon and Lincoln: if you are having twins tomorrow,
put a gun in a white kid's hand. It's genetics.
Friday question for Timon and Lincoln: if you are having twins tomorrow, a boy and a girl, and you had to name them right now, what would those names be? So I'm guessing since he said Friday question for Timon and Lincoln, I think it's we're having twins, like you and I were having twins. We're the dads. So Timon, what are we gonna name our boy and girl twins?
I'm cool with naming a girl Timon. You want to name the boy Lincoln?
Yeah.
Timon's a strong female. It rhymes with women.
It's the Timon and Lincoln show.
Yeah, it's Timon and Lincoln show.
You can check out our daily content.
I don't know, dude. That's a great question. Probably if I was having baby twins with Lincoln.
With me.
Right? It would be probably Timon and Lincoln. There'd be like
Junior.
And then whatever the female version of Junior is.
Junior. I don't think they
have you ever heard of like Elizabeth Jr.? They just start going to numbers.
Yeah.
Number neighbors. That's another answer there, Alex.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I haven't really ever thought. Normally I have 9 months. You would have 9 months to think about a name.
Nope. We have 9 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, well, I go back to my first
4,
answer. Timon and Lincoln.
5. Not yet. 6. 7.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No.
Anyways, great question, Alex.
Yeah.
Great question, Alex. If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it fall, did it actually fall? That's my question for you. That is my question for you. He also sent me a picture of a dead mouse, and he said, "Let us not forget. I have your address as well."
Dang, that's pretty baller.
That's pretty funny. I'm here for that.
That's the type of energy I'm all about. That's fun.
Do you want to get into the John content?
Yeah, so I've not read it yet.
Oh.
Have you read it?
I have.
Let's do it. All right, so John sent us this content. I was going to come in fresh, John. Sometimes I like to just come in fresh. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I read it, sometimes I don't. It happens for all your guys' questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I read them, sometimes I don't. Until Friday comes around. But John sent us a question. He said, I didn't forget the thing for Friday. So here's something if you guys don't have content. And sent us a story, I'm assuming. Is that what it is? Have you read it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to read it?
I guess I could.
Do you want me to read it?
Oh, it's so long.
I'm going to have to process it while I read it.
I know. That's why I asked if you had read it yet. All right. John writes, recently, this week at my golf course, I've been having issues with a coworker.
Okay.
Monday, he gave me a lot of grief and we were shouting at each other, but my boss said he would talk to him and sort some things out.
Ooh, what were you guys shouting?
Today, however, this guy came up to me while I was doing something I did not need help with and then started to boss me around and try to tell me what to do. I left where he was and told my boss straight away because I thought my boss talked to him and that this sort of thing wouldn't happen. That troublesome coworker follows me and starts freaking out saying, "Why'd you leave? I was just trying to help you. Why'd you go away?" He goes on and on very aggressively, at which point I asked my boss if I could go home. My boss said yes, because he's cool like that.
Yo, shout out to the boss.
My boss later calls me and apologizes, saying he won't have us work together anymore. and that I'm a better worker than that angry guy, and he will definitely straighten things out with him. I tell my boss I love this job and he's a good boss. Nice. And that he doesn't need to fire that guy, but I just don't want to deal with that guy's negativity. So tomorrow I'll see how things go. But what say you guys? If that guy gives me grief again, what do you think I should say or do? What do you think I should do? Do you want to talk about this, and then we'll talk about John? John sends a little bit more as far as his backstory.
Details, yeah.
John, I think you did exactly the right thing. I think you, rather than letting the situation sort of escalate and turn into something uglier than it should have been, you kind of walked away. You talked to your supervisor, and I think you did the right thing.
Yeah,
I think you did exactly the right thing.
Yeah, John. I wonder. I mean, I think you do come in with some more explanation, but I wonder who's worked at your job longer, you or this guy. And if he's tripping out like that, typically that means there's something going on internally, whether that's mentally or something that family situation, or he might be dealing with some stuff that you don't know. So I would keep that in mind, not as a negative, but like a way to don't let him walk over you for sure. That's not appropriate at a workplace. Sometimes people are dealing with stuff, and it sounds like that might be why he's coming in hot and angry. Like there's no rational reason for him to be yelling at you and to be tripping out like that. And so I mean that's not appropriate. That's not work appropriate. That's there needs to be boundaries set. It sounds like your boss is doing that. It sounds like he is a good boss. But yeah, I wouldn't take it too personally. And then having that, if I was in the situation, if you go into a situation, people are yelling at you, you just kind of like, okay, this guy's just kind of a little crazy. So you just listen to him. I've been in situations where you're like, you kind of have to step away from him and realize he's yelling because he's angry at something. He's not yelling at you because he hates you, or maybe he does hate you, and that's irrational. I don't know why he would hate you, but John, I would probably step away and maybe not get too emotionally caught up in what he's saying to you, because what he's saying to you isn't really worth the time and effort.
It's really not important.
Yeah. And it sounds like your boss knows, and if he that's okay. Just if I was to have someone yell at me and then I had to work with him, I would probably say something like, "Hey man, when you yell at me, I don't like that. And if you yell at me, I'm just going to walk away. I don't need to be around you." That's probably what I would say. Mm-hmm. And then every time he yells at me, I'll be like, "Hey, do you remember what I told you? I don't like that you yell at me like this. I'm just going to walk away." You said, this is what happens when you do this stuff. I'm not going to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Adios. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's some advice I'd give to you.
You're totally allowed to tell someone you can't talk to me this way.
It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. He can yell. He has the right to yell, but you have the right not to listen. Mm-hmm. You control your act.
I don't think you do, though. I don't think you have the right to act however you want to act at a job.
Oh, he's doing it.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He has the ability to do it. Whether that's right or not, no, I don't think what he's doing is right, but no. He's doing it. Yeah, interesting.
So,
good content, Joe.
Joe goes, or not Joe.
Joe's sleeping.
Right next to me right there.
Hey, yo.
A normal little guy. So John goes on to say, last year he missed the majority of work because he wasn't feeling mentally well. I reached out to him on multiple occasions, getting lunch with him, etc. When people badmouthed him, I stood up for him. I thought we were friends. I'm torn because as a Christian, I want to give this guy another chance. But also know Jesus moved on from Bethlehem because people were not receptive to him. Mm. Do I move on from this guy and cut my losses? Or do I give it one more good college try and salvage the relationship? Yeah. So by good college try, to me that means you work hard until the end and then you just give up. So probably don't do that.
Yeah. I think the thing, John, is going back to what I was just kind of talking about. You gotta set boundaries, and if he is not going to be interacting with you on a level where that's just on a human level. This goes for any relationship. If people are manipulating or taking control of different things, you know what I mean, or trying to manipulate the relationship, you have the ability to say, "Hey, this is what I want," and until you act a way where we can act at the same level. So if this guy's yelling at me, you say, "Listen, I'm not going to interact with you until you're chill. and set the guidelines for him. And then once he comes to that, if he doesn't, space yourself away from it. But once he comes to that conclusion, like, hey, I will interact with you on the terms that we're both setting instead of what he just wants to do, then you can restore the relationship, or you can go back to building it. You know what I'm saying? But once he tries to step over that boundary and just continue to yell at you, like, there's no reason why you have to interact with this guy. Like, there's no, like, it doesn't sound like anything's happening. It doesn't sound like this guy is actually, like, he's actually affecting your work. So what you need to do is say, hey, this is where the line is. And you keep on crossing it, and you know what the line is, John. You know, you don't feel comfortable when he's crossing over that line. So you say, this is the line, right? I'm not going to handle this. And then when he tries to cross over that line again, tell him, hey, I set that boundary, and until you come and we can meet at the same level, I'll restore friendship. But until then, dude, like, I'm not messing with you. That's probably how I would handle that situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%. I was gonna say close to almost the same thing. Just like it sounds like you've reached out to him and done some more friend things because you care about your coworker and stuff, and all that's fine. I think it's all good.
Yeah.
But literally what you're saying is, in order for this relationship to be a thing, you have to be on the same level as me. You have to be right here. You can't yell at me. You can't, like, we have to, like, have this understanding, like, we can have a friendship, we can have a relationship, we can be good coworkers if you're on the same level as I am.
Yep.
As far as just, like, emotionally, like, you're like not yelling and stuff. Like, you have to be a decent person. I mean,
you
like,
have to.
This is the level that this relationship is going to happen on. Any other level,
that dude needs to learn it.
I'm not going
at
to
some point. He might have to learn it with John, right? But he needs to learn it at some point, because he's never going to get anywhere in life yelling. Maybe it has,
well,
but,
I mean, I don't know. So I think what I'm saying is, like, you don't have to draw a line in the sand and say, do I give it another try? Do I, like, you can say, like, I will participate in this relationship at this healthy level.
Yeah.
And whenever he's there, you can be there too. When he's not there, just don't be there. Like, you don't have to say, I'm going to try again. You don't have to do anything that's like, I'm going to cut this relationship off.
And talk to your boss too. If he continues, like, now you let your boss know, or
because you left work because of and you probably don't have an HR department for your golf course. It's probably not that sort of thing.
Yeah, no.
And so you're gonna have to resolve this, like, interpersonally with your boss. And
if the boss continues, just like, then you just say, listen, this is where the boundary's at, man. I'll continue work, but if it gets over this, or maybe it's time to, work at a different golf course, or I have no clue, dude. But I think those are, like, different steps, right? Those are probably escalating steps. I don't know where you're at. I don't know how you feel about that, but definitely with this guy, don't let him do that. And if he continues to pester that, then maybe escalate it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good question. Yeah, thanks, John.
Good content.
And John brings us solid content, and he is also our sponsor. And if you want golf lessons, hopefully not around this yelling, angry golf guy, but
we can promise you, John's angry, yelling golf coworker will not be a part of the golf lessons with John.
Yeah.
You won't. It's golf lessons with John, not learn how to be a decent human with John's angry coworker. That's not what that is. It's golf lessons with John. Yeah,
and if you want to go let this golf guy a piece of your mind, maybe you can go find him, John, in Bowling Green, Ohio. Yes, where he is giving solid golf lessons at you contact him and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So this has been one heck of a podcast, bro.
This has been a long one.
Yeah. I don't know where we're at, but I think, guys, I thank you so much for your questions.
Many minutes.
Yeah. I thank you for your questions. I appreciate it. You guys came through with a ton of questions. That was crazy.
I feel like we're missing some, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah, we can always on Monday. I have mine. Yeah, I have mine. So.
Yep.
I can check my email. Maybe Canada sent something in. Maybe not. But yeah, anyway, thanks for the questions, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll catch you guys on Monday with another lie for you guys to be interested in. But here's the kick. Here's the Easter egg.
All next week is casino content.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Casino content next week.
Going to casino this weekend. And next weekend. And all week. Yeah. Let's have a wonderful weekend. Adios.